November Alpha 3 Papa, NA3P, NA3P. And we've talked before, but I have another radio here for you, over.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Let's see, and what's the name there?
The name is Dick, Delta India Charlie Kilo in Culpeper, Virginia, and I'm running a fairly new FT-891 I got out of the box last week, over.
Roger, roger. Okay, so why don't you give me about 10 seconds or so and tell me about your antenna system. And I'm copying you fairly well on my local antennas, but I'll move around on those and see if I can get a better copy. Roger?
Roger, roger. You're 5'9" plus 10 to 20 over. I'm just running barefoot right now to my end-fed wire, which is made by myantennas.com, an end-fed wire. And what I did shortly after I bought the radio, I went on YouTube and looked up some settings for the transmit equalizer, and it's quite extensive what you can set on this radio. There's quite a few options, but I set them to one of the options that a ham had come up with. But then earlier today or yesterday, I forget, I was talking to K2YM, and he said my lows were a little bit shallow, but I opened up the low cutoff on the external, on the internal equalizer from 300 to 100. But there's also a low cutoff switch on the microphone. Right now, my low cutoff switch is on the microphone, the stock mic. But anyway, I'm hoping it sounds okay to your ear and to your analyzer over there. Back to you, Jim, over.
Roger, you are a little shy on the bottom end. It looks like you're rolling out about 250, 300 cycles, somewhere like that. Why don't you take that low roll switch off and let me hear you.
Okay, the switch is off now, and I know it opens up a lot more lows. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I flipped the low cutoff switch on the stock mic off, and it's in the normal position, or position 1, on the MH31, over.
Roger. Seems to be activity around 200 cycles. You leave that, go back and put that switch on. Let's see, do you have a power amp? I'm getting a little bit of noise there. You could solve that if you do have a little amp.
No, I don't have an amp connected to this radio. It's just barefoot at the moment, over.
Roger, roger. I just went to Milford, and you're just totally clean there. You're about 20 over. If you would like, go to your local, why don't we go through the setup procedure in general and then go to EQ. Our setup is generic in nature, starts with compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount, something you'll never hear on the air, but it does a little bit for getting us to the dynamic range of 3 dB, Roger.
Okay, let me, let's see, how do I go to the, it's going to take me a second to figure out where the processor level is, over.
Roger, roger. What about your AOC? Do you know where that is?
I'm in another menu right now. This thing is heavy menu driven. It's not as easy to use as some other radios. I'll tell you what, Jim, if you can just tell me generally how I sound rather than going through the whole procedure, because I'm having a little trouble going through the menu. I just can't navigate the menu right now very well, over.
Yes, sir. Let me give you the setup procedure. You can take notes and do it at your leisure. Starts with the compressor engaged at a 3, token amount, but does what we need. So compressor on at a 3, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC by way of mic gain manipulation. Then move to your EQ, and from what I heard, I would suggest that you crank in the bottom end 3 clicks bass boost from where you are, and maybe 1 click more treble EQ from where you are. Roger?
More treble EQ from where you are. Roger? Okay, I can know what the menu is. Just a minute here. I am going back to... Whoops, going the wrong way here. Where's my EQ? Okay. I went the wrong way, but here we go. Let's see here. Where did it go? So many menus on this thing. I'll tell you what, rather than taking up people's time, I will... I'm having a little trouble even finding where I just was on the EQs. There's so many menus in here, it's ridiculous, over.
Yes, sir. I understand exactly, and you probably haven't had that radio that long, Roger?
No, I haven't, but I had it set up where it was right on the EQs, and now, without... Oh, wait a minute, there we are, I found them. Okay, I found the EQs here. Okay, EQ1 level, which is the lows. Let me click in that. I'm going to...
+3 bass boost.
Okay, I just took out 5 notches on the bass, over.
You took it out? No, put it in. Bass boost +3 from where you were originally.
Okay, bass boost +3. Boost, you want me to put more bass in or more bass out, over?
Bass boost, more bass. I'm trying to give you a little bottom end. When you took your low-pass mic filter, when you did that, it put too much of the, not the bottom end, but about 300 cycles, and it didn't sound good. So you have got your low roll on your microphone, so now we need to do a little EQ boosting of that bottom end. Roger?
Okay, I put 3 notches up on the bass, over.
Okay, and you sure you went positive? You sure you went boost on the... Is that a 3-band?
I went... It's probably got more than 3. Wait a minute. I can tell you in a minute. I'm on, wait a minute. Let me go 3 on the, wait a minute. Let me see how many bands it is, just a minute.
Hey, Dick?
Yeah, I'm still here. I can't change the EQ settings while I'm transmitting. I have to be in receiver.
Okay, I just wanted to double check that you're in the 100 to 2900 bandpass, Roger.
I am in the EQ1 level, which I set. The EQ1 is set at 100 right now. Over.
Yeah, not the EQ, but the bandpass. You have probably 3 bandpass positions. You want to be in the widest bandpass, 100 to 2900, Roger?
I am in the 100 2900 TX bandpass.
Yeah, yes, sir. Good. Now, so, is that a 3-band EQ that you're running there?
I'll tell you in a minute. I believe it is EQ3, yeah, three bands, over.
All right, so we want that mid-band flat. We want the middle band flat. Roger?
Okay, let me make it 0 just a minute.
Yeah, the whole idea of an equalizer is to balance the top to the mid-range and the bottom to the mid-range. And if we boost the mid-range, it's so much harder for the top and bottom EQs to catch up. So we want to be sure that the middle EQ is flat.
Okay, right now my EQ2 is 0. But then there's another one, EQ2 bandwidth, which I'm not 100% sure what that does. Over.
So parametric, so it doesn't matter since that number 2 is flat. It doesn't matter what the bandwidth of it is. It's flat as flat, Roger?
Okay, well that's 0 right now, EQ2. But I can also set EQ2 frequency. Right now my EQ2 frequency is set at 1300, over.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's flat, Roger?
Okay, it's 0 right now, over.
Yes, sir. Now, let's go to the top. You have number 3, treble EQ, Roger?
Yes, I do, over.
All right, increase that by 3 clicks, and let me hear you. 3-click boost on the treble EQ.
Well, right now I've got it as high as it'll go. It's set at 10, over.
All right, what is the frequency and the width?
Frequency is 2300, and the width is 8. I think I can go higher than on the width, but the frequency is 2300, over.
All right, we want to go 2.5, 2.6, somewhere in there. 2.5 or 2.6 as far as the frequency of the treble EQ, and we want to bring that width down to about a 4.
Okay, just a second here. I've got one more to go. Okay, frequency on EQ3 is 25, bandwidth is 4, over.
Yes, sir. Okay, now let's go to your bass EQ. EQ1, your bass. What is the frequency and the width?
The frequency is 100, and the width is 8, over.
All right, put the width at 4, and then go 3 clicks boost on that EQ. 3 clicks boost on the bass EQ, Roger?
Roger, Roger. Give me a second here. Wait a minute. I think I got it messed up. Just a minute.
This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon, Qso-Vlog net. We're right now talking with Dick as he's going through his equalizer, shaking out all the cobwebs and getting everything copacetic.
Now give me that bass again. The bass. So what should I do again on the bass? Over.
All right, we want to increase the bass 3 clicks boost, but we want to move the broadness of it to a 4. So the bandpass of that EQ to a 4, and then plus 3 clicks boost. Roger?
Roger.
And I think you said you were at 100 cycles on that control.
That's correct. Give me a second here. Okay, what should I, on the EQ1, on the bass, what should I do with the width again? Over, I've increased three notches on the level, but I haven't changed the bandwidth. Over.
You want to move the bandwidth to a 4. Bandwidth to a 4, Roger.
Okay, I got it at 4 now. Over.
All right, then tell me in 10 seconds or so about your antenna system. Let me listen to you.
Okay, I'm running a myantennas.com end-fed wire. Let me do something here. I'm running a myantennas.com end-fed wire, 130 foot long. It's not really that high, but it does a good job for where it is. 12 feet on one end and 35 feet on the far end. And I've had really good luck with it. I've had this end-fed wire ever since I moved to this QTH over 4 years ago. And it's my only HF antenna at the moment. Am I sounding any better on your end? Over.
Yes, sir. Try a 2 more clicks boost on that bottom EQ. Plus 2 more clicks from where you are. Roger? Boost.
Okay, 2 more clicks up on the bass boost. 2 more clicks up on the bass boost. Over.
Roger. I think that's pretty good. We could always get more bottom end, but, there's a lot of stuff that happens in the world, and not all of it is kind to the top end. Sometimes Mother Nature does phase inversions and bends the signal from more than one place out in space, and what happens is when she bends it from 2 places, the second place is a bit further out in space, and so when it bends back and comes back to roost, it many times can be out of phase with the original because, time from the bounce, can create phase cancellations. So here you have this beautiful audio spectrum transmission, and Mother Nature decides that she's going to play games and does a little phase inversion on half the signal, and there goes your top end. And so all you're left with is this beautiful bottom end that without the top end to support it, it just sounds like mud. So I'm not really in favor of getting a tremendous amount of bottom end just for that reason. Roger?
Yeah, roger that, Jim. So right now, you think it sounds essentially okay? I'm talking in the microphone sideways, where not directly into it, but along, parallel to it, like I'm not blowing into it. So you think it sounds generally okay on your end? Over.
Yes, sir. I think it sounds really good. Your dynamic range is about 3 dB, which is where you want it to be. If you manage to get that compressor in there at a 3, that would be nice also. No more than a 3. And then after you put it in at a 3, go back and double check your ALC to be sure you're still running mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Roger. I think right now, I can't off the top of my head remember how to go into the compressor, but I think my compressor is at a 2 right now, but honestly, I can't remember how to go into it all. It's in, I think, at a 2 level right now.
Roger, it looks good. I mean, your whole signal, and it's not very high compression because I would be hearing a little suck up between the words. So there's no suck up. So you're in the ballpark right now, Roger.
Hey, well, anyway, I appreciate it. I've listened to my other YouTubes that you made of me on my other rigs. I got a whole bunch of radios, as you probably know, all kinds of radios here in the shack, and this is my latest edition. But
frequencies in use, please.
These radios set and then forget them. Everybody's got their opinion about what audio sounds like and how it sounds, but once I set it, I forget it because honestly, me personally, I'm ex-military and I have a VA disability for hearing, so don't ask me to check my audio. I can't. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, the main thing is we get it squared away and then Sadie bar the door, your It's, the thing is, the whole idea behind radio is to communicate words from one point to the other. So as long as we keep good articulation, and that's what I try to do as far as setups, get the articulation level up and get enough of the bottom end that you are nice and full, not flat necessarily, but full, so you're not all upper mids, and then get that dynamic range down to about a 3 dB. And the difference is unprocessed audio has about a 10 dB dynamic range with an average of 30% of peak modulation, average 30% of peak modulation, and what we do is take that 10 dB signal and try to pull it down to 3 dB dynamic range, and at 3 dB your average percent of peak modulation is 80 to 85%. So you're just as fat as you can be. Now we could take that 3 dB up to 2 dB or 1 dB. What happens though, after you pass 3 dB dynamic range, the words start to blur and you begin to defeat the main purpose of intelligibility. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Well, you've got a lot more hardware on your end to analyze signals, so I appreciate your help. I really don't have the equipment to do it, and sometimes I'll listen to an SDR receiver and listen to my audio, but I never really seem to succeed in what I'm doing. But yeah, thanks a million for helping me out. This FT-891 has a tremendous amount of transmit features you can get in there and adjust, which is pretty amazing. Pretty modern radio, I guess, but man, it's got a lot of menus. I hate menus, but what are you going to do with a mobile-sized radio? It's just a little mobile-sized radio. It's got a few buttons and 3 knobs, and that's it, over.
Yes, sir, and about 1.5 inches manual to cover all of the menus.
Well, the manual, it's pretty mind-boggling, this radio. This is probably one of the more menu-driven radios I've ever handled. Well, there's another radio I have, another Yaesu, FT-818, that's got a lot of menus, but man, these menus drive you nuts, over.
Roger. Well, sounds good now, sir, and if you get a chance, follow up on that compressor. No major thing, because you're a real bar park now as far as where it's setting. So let me say threes to you. We'll have this uploaded to YouTube by tomorrow noon. If you go to YouTube, do a call letter search, Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. KC9VKV logbook, and that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 of 2000 Qso-Vlog AIRCHECK recordings. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Well, thanks a million, Jim, and I will definitely listen to my audio here in the next couple days. So thanks a million. This radio is pretty confusing for a newcomer to it, but you helped me out there quite a bit and appreciate it. I'll clear up the frequency and let you guys carry on with more stations there. KC9VKV from NA3P.
Roger, Dick 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance to join us next Friday. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.